Well, moving on, we're now joined by Rafael Bernal. He is a staff writer for The Hill, a political news outlet here in Washington, D.C. Rafael, thanks so much for coming in on this Sunday and taking time to chat with us.
Thanks for having me.
We heard Alistair kind of lay it out there. Biden, in running in 2020, really portrayed himself and the Democrats as the empathetic political party here in the United States. But all that goodwill seemingly has been washed away over the last 2 years. And at this point, it seems he can make no one happy. Conservatives to the right, liberals to the left. What is he going to run into when he heads down to El Paso? Usually a very quiet city, but seeing those thousands of migrants there is really shocking.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Biden knows that this is a sort of a lose-lose issue, but he is finally engaging it, and some of his allies are very happy that he's engaging it. Few of his allies are happy in how he's engaging it, and Alistair's report was absolutely accurate. He's already made the big announcement, laid out his cards, so he's just there to get political support. I suspect of the three members of Congress who are accompanying him, Veronica Escobar of El Paso, Texas, and the two Democrats from the Rio Grande Valley, the other side of the Texas border, Henry Cuellar and Vicente Gonzalez. The latter two will be more supportive, especially Cuellar has been supportive of extending the use of Title 42, but they are aware that it's a balancing act. They do know their communities want to bear less of the social brunt of the first onboarding process of migrants, but their communities are also concerned that migrants are treated with respect and, according to asylum law. So there's that balance they're playing. Cuellar will be more supportive of the Title 42 bids. He's more of a trade guy. Gonzalez is a little bit in the middle, and Escobar will be a little bit more supportive of the immigrant rights side of it. But notably, there are no Republicans, and one Texas border Republican, Tony Gonzalez, did ask to join this trip, and he was denied by the White House.
Interesting. We'll see how that plays out on Monday. Now, also we saw images, of course, of the wall in those pictures we just had on the air. Talk a bit about that, this change in policy, going away from this hardcore structure that many people said was simply impossible to enforce to more legislation. Is he going to find any common ground there, President Biden?
Well, I mean, legislatively, I think we've said it in this space and many spaces on this network. Legislatively, immigration is stuck. There's really no future for a reform bill, barring some sort of Christmas miracle.
Right.
But the Biden administration is trying to get that balancing act where they're trying to make the CBP and Border Patrol workforce happy, sort of the tactical people who've been wanting to lead on policy. They're trying to make that crowd happy, and they're trying to make Democrats who want to be respectful or who want to welcome more immigrants happy. They know, and everybody knows this, that the Biden administration is not going to make Republicans or immigration restrictionists happy, right, no matter what border policy they choose.
Let's talk quickly about the North American Leader Summit going on in Mexico City from here. What is Biden going to hear once he gets down there? Cartel violence has simply blown up. He's certainly not won a lot of friends in Mexico City with this new policy. And of course, the U.S. is very frustrated with the way the new trade policy in North America is playing out.
Well, the first thing to remember is this new immigration policy, it has already been negotiated between the Mexicans and the Americans. There has been some tension, but the two countries have a very robust diplomatic relationship, sort of at the middle level of government. So all the details are pretty much ironed out. There are some concerns from the Biden camp on democracy in Mexico, certainly on the Mexicans keeping their economy in check, because adding extra Mexican migration would put too much pressure on the border. There's concerns about corruption and, of course, about the trade agreement. The Mexican concerns, since Biden will be meeting with the top echelon of the Mexican government, specifically President López Obrador's biggest concern is that he not be treated as a lame duck president by the United States, and that he sort of receives the respect that he feels that he deserves on the public stage. Everything indicates that Biden will give him that respect, will give him that position in public, but will probably give him a pretty good talking to in private.
Rafael, as always, we appreciate your insight. Thanks very much for taking the time to chat.
Thanks for having me.